Hi, I'm Kimberly Deziree, and welcome to my Q&A. Today's question comes in from Strained Friendship. Dear Deziree, need your help with this as I'm not sure who to turn to. A close friend of mine and I began working with each other a year ago, and all seemed great at the start. However, things are not really going so well, and not sure working with this person was such a good idea. For instance, our conversations, which used to be stimulating and educational, now seem to be almost combative and confrontational, almost as if we feel one of us has to win. It's really starting to put pressure on the friendship and our work relationship as feelings are starting to get hurt in the process. What's going on with us? Any ideas? Well, thank you for sending in your question. I'm going to take a second here and think about a couple of things here because you have a lot going on, and I'm going to try to address them accordingly. When I'm thinking about working with a friend that I was friends with outside of work, it's almost like if you were having a partner and all of a sudden you started working together. Things can become awkward, too much time together. Things take on a different role. Well, it's the same thing with friendships. If you have a friend and you get along great, it depends too also on how long you've been a friend. These people that are in our lives, sometimes we change, they don't, they change, we don't. It really doesn't matter, but the point I'm making here is that when you have a friendship or any type of relationship, there is a foundation for it, and there are certain things that you will have in common, certain reasons why you have this friendship. So when you take something out of the friendship in the foundation and put it in a different context, you're now in a whole different ballgame. So part of the problem here might be is that, your work ethics may be different, which is outside of the friendship. That has nothing to do with the friendship. Maybe one of you has gone through some growth and you see things differently while the other one hasn't. Sometimes one of you may be the boss of the other one. I don't know the working situation here, but there's a lot of things that are that you need to be looking at. So if you know the foundation of your friendship to begin with and what the basis were and how you met this person and why you had the relationship, what you had in common, what you each brought to the table, you have an understanding of where your friendship began, how it worked, so you know the foundation of this friendship. Now you're working together. This is completely different than the friendship. So if one of you is the boss of the other person, that definitely is going to change the balance of this relationship. Also, have you both grown? Where are you at in your life? What's taken place in your lives outside of work? Have you outgrown each other? These are things to be looking at. So my feeling is that if you can look at what your friendship was and is outside of work, and then look at what your working relationship is, what the roles are, you're going to, in order to be able to maneuver this friendship and work relationship, you're going to have to look at the dynamics of both situations. And my suggestion would be to sit down and write down the things that are bothering you at work with this person and see your role and this person's role in it, and be a problem solver and learn and see where you can make the adjustments, because a lot of times in life things are going to change. So we have to be really good at course correcting and working with the energy and the flow of life. So now that you're with this person, you might have to make some changes and adjustments. The other thing is this person somebody that you can be open with and talk to about the situation and your feelings? It's great that you reached out to me for some advice, but my advice would be is to try to work this out with this person by knowing what's pressuring you right now, what's bothering you. When you write it out and you can see clearly what is it that's triggering you, what is upsetting you about this dynamic with this person, what's causing the conflict. Can you problem solve this? Can you make the adjustments by yourself in order to and to be in the same work environment with this person? Or is it to the point where you may want to pull this person aside and maybe go out for coffee and talk about these things and be prepared to listen? Because a lot of us, we come in with our agenda, we know what we want, we know what's going to make us feel good, but we need to also be able to be open to listen and hear the other person. We may not like what they have to say, and we may not be receptive to what they have to say, but that means we have to look at ourselves. Because if you're trying to solve this, you're inviting this person to problem solve with you, but you want it your way with a wall up and you're not able to hear them, then this is reflecting back at you, where you need to make some adjustments within yourself. So my suggestion is to do some inventory, take a look at the friendship, the basis, the foundation, and then take a look at the working environment and what's going on with you guys. And then problem solve. Make the effort to figure it out, course correct, adjust yourself, and possibly talk with this person, because this person may not know how you feel. They might be sitting there at their house thinking the same thing. Geez, I had a great friendship with this person, and now all of a sudden I feel like arguing. They feel argumentative. They sound, heated when they're talking to me. So, we can only make assumptions on both ends. So my suggestion would be to get together and talk with this person, but be ready to listen. Be open to hear what they have to say. Learn to ask a question, sit back and listen. Let them do the same and take your time and figure it out. Or maybe this friendship has expired. Maybe it's time for you to move on. Maybe you've learned all you needed to learn. But my feeling is there's a lot more to learn here by being open and trying to problem solve. And you do have a job, you have to work together. So, be grateful that you have this opportunity. Be grateful this person is in your life. Be grateful for the opportunity to grow, because the job, the person, the situation is your mirror. So look at it that way. As far as, when you're speaking, always come from your heart so that people don't get hurt, because if feelings are getting hurt, chances are we're in a reactive phase and we're not coming from our heart space. We're reacting to old triggers, to old emotions that could be coming from somewhere totally different other than this working environment. If it's getting heated, maybe there's some resentment. There could be resentment. The fact that maybe you don't even want to be there. And it just happens to be showing up with a friend who you're working with. So look at that. Where's the resentment coming from if there's resentment? There's so many things that you could do in this situation. So my advice would be to sit back, write it out, put it out on the table, step back and really look at it and see yourself in it. What can you learn? How can you change it? How can you make this better? And how can you do this coming from a place of love? I hope this helped you, and I would really love to hear from you and how you're doing with the situation. And for those of you who would like to send a question to me, there is information at the end of this video. So please send me a question. I would love to hear from you, and I will make a video. We will post it at the magazine, probably on YouTube as well, and I can send you a copy of the video specifically for you at your email address. So thank you, and be extraordinary.